Hello students, welcome to class. So the previous video we stopped at that part when Sherlock Holmes was observing the shiny cuff that was created due to regular friction while writing, and this was quite amusing for Mr. Wilson. It was a very intelligent observation. He said, "Yes, that's right." And let's move on. What happened after that? Watson putting away the newspaper. "It's very strange indeed." Wilson looking excited. "It is strange, isn't it? Do you see the day and month of the newspaper? It's the Morning Chronicle of 27 April 1890, 2 months ago." Holmes: "Now, Mr. Wilson, tell us about yourself." Wilson: "I own a pawn shop at Saxe Coburg Square. It's the name of a place. It's a little shop and it doesn't make much money, but I have enough to go on. I have an assistant, Vincent Spaulding. It was he who called my attention to the advertisement. Well, I didn't know what to think. So we come across another character called Vincent Spaulding, an assistant of Mr. Wilson, and he was the one who drew his attention to this particular advertisement. Now, Mr. Wilson had a pawn shop. Now, what is a pawn shop? It's a place where you exchange in a certain costly items to get in lieu of money. So you take money and you give in the place of that some costly item. Anyway, Holmes, tell me a little more about your assistant. So a detective, ask a lot of questions, and Mr. Holmes was no ordinary detective, and he would ask a lot of questions to get into the details. Then that's the way how you do it. Small, stout built, very quick in his ways, no hair on his face. Though he is not short of 30, he has a white scar above his forehead. He is a good worker. I couldn't afford an assistant, but he agreed to work for half wages. I couldn't find a smarter assistant. He spends a lot of time in the cellar of the shop where he developed his photographs. He told me that he was an amateur photographer and that he needed a place that was dark to develop his negatives. But it doesn't bother me. So this paragraph, when if you read, and when it was told to Holmes, Holmes said, that kind of a expression. Now, if you look at Mr. Wilson, Wilson is describing Mr. Vincent Spaulding. He was small, very stout, strong, built, very quick in his ways, and very quick, he moves very quickly, and he has no hair on his face, though he is not short of 30. Though he is really nearly 30 years old, but he has no beard or no mustache or no hair. That's the meaning. He has a white scar upon his forehead, and there was a white scar. He is a good worker, and but a good worker, and he could never afford such an assistant because Vincent agreed to work for him half the wages, and Vincent had other hobbies. He was an amateur photographer, and he used to develop negatives in the cellar of the shop most of the time. So this was quite interesting, and that is why Holmes said, that means this is how Holmes analyzed, a detective. Wilson: "Well, he showed me the advertisement and told me that this league was set up to help red-headed men. He said that I should not let such an opportunity pass. After some thought, I agreed. On Monday, he accompanied me to the address where we met Mr. Duncan Ross. Upon seeing me, Mr. Ross was very excited and told me that I met all the requirements for the job. I was old enough and my hair was the right color." So Vincent Spaulding took him to that particular place of the advertisement, and where another person called Mr. Duncan Ross, another character, owner of this red-headed league, and they wanted a red-haired person. It's very strange, a red-haired person for the job and not any other person. So that is itself is very suspicious. And upon seeing Mr. Wilson, Mr. Ross was very excited and immediately hired him, telling that you fitted the entire requirement for the job. And so I was old enough and my hair was the right color. So he was, the age factor and the color of the hair fitted the requirements of the job. Now it's very strange, how can you make, unless and until you are doing some modeling or something or whatever, but you can even color your hair. Holmes, what did your job involve? Holmes was again, Holmes is questioning Mr. Wilson all the time, his client. Copy the encyclopedia. Sorry, I was to be in the office between the hours of 10 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon each day and not leave for any reason. Mr. Spaulding said that he could attend the business for this short period. Well, I asked what I was to do. I could use an extra £4 a week, you see. Mr. Rose told me that I was to copy the encyclopedia. So what was the work that involved? He had to copy the encyclopedia, and for that you need red hair person. I was to be in the office between the hours of 10 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon. So from 10 to 2 he will have to be in the office. He cannot leave for any reason from there. Mr. Spaulding said that he could attend to the business of this short period. Mr. Spaulding, Vincent, he said, okay, fine, you will be away from this time. I'll be attending to the business, as he was the assistant of Wilson. And I was asked what I was to do, and I could use an extra £4 a week, you see. And he can get £4 a week for doing that particular copying. And it was easy money. Who would say no to that? But Mr. Holmes said, copy the encyclopedia, a little bit quite taken off guard. How can somebody pay for copying? Wilson, well, I was very pleased, Mr. Holmes. I went home feeling very happy, but that evening I began to think again. Copying from a book is strange work of a man to do. But then, certain things can put you in doubts. And Mr. Wilson, though initially was happy, but then there were certain doubts that crossed his mind, and it was quite doubtful and suspicious that how can you pay someone simply to copy, and then you need a red-haired man only to copy that. So all these things becomes very illogical. Watson, very strange yet. The next morning I went to Pope's Court with my pen and some paper. Mr. Rose was there, but he soon went away and I began my work. I went in every morning at 10 o'clock and went home at 2. And on Saturday, Mr. Ross gave me my £4. So that's how he earned. How did you, long did you work there? 8 weeks. But today I went to the office at 10 o'clock and the door was locked. He takes a paper from his coat and gives it to Holmes. This was on the door. The Red-Headed League is finished, 21st June 1890. And he was here with Holmes, Mr. Wilson, because when he went today to that office, it was written there in bold, the Red-Headed League is finished, and 21 June 1890. So this was again very doubtful, so he came to Holmes to solve the case. Then what did you do? I went to the office in the next building and asked the man what happened to the Red-Headed League. He said he was not familiar with a Mr. Ross or the League. Instead, he told me that a Mr. William Morris, a solicitor, had rented the room until yesterday and had moved out. I asked about a forwarding address and when told, I went directly and found it to be a vacant lot. So this person who rented, to Mr. Ross, that a Mr. William Morris, who rented a solicitor, he was asked about a forwarding address, and when told, and I went directly and found it to be a vacant lot. Again, you did not find a Mr. William Morris or a Mr. Duncan Ross, am I right? You are. The whole affair was very strange, and I thought perhaps you could shed some light on the matter. So he could not find any Duncan Ross nor William Morris, and then this was quite suspicious, and so he came to Holmes, and let's see how Holmes solves the case in the next video. Goodbye.